Oh man, you guys missed a good 35 minutes because I failed to turn on my microphone. Um, so here we are working on TESTbase. It was a good 35 minutes. I stepped through a demo of what TESTbase is and does and how useful it is. Oh, it's the wrong demo one. It's B I want to go into. So basically, Eagle lets you put, well, the file navigator pane in Eagle now displays PDFs, Word documents, PowerPoints, Excel files, right? It shows templates. So I created a template that has VBA code behind it. So I can double click on the template, watch, type in the name of a test, T12. That's the only required piece of information here. Come to the bottom, click Save and Close. And the code that just ran was VBA code in Microsoft Word. And it took that new document that wasn't saved yet because I opened the template. It saved it as T12 in the correct folder, right? And it created a PDF in the correct folder that shows everything that was in that Word document at the moment the button was clicked, which is kind of cool. So the PDF is essentially a record that's stamped by the person who clicks the button last, because if I open up T12 and I type, hello world, and then I go to the bottom and I click Save and Close, so now if I open T12, it says hello world, and the button click on the bottom is the last time that I clicked it. So the first time it creates this log entry key, and then that key will stay for the life of the test until you click delete. That log entry key is essentially the key in the database where I store the data. And we'll show you that. But this one updates every time the button is clicked. And this one right here is basically watermarked on each sheet of the PDF. So if you print this on paper, you know that this one right here is associated with this button click right here. So there's traceability. So it's not, nothing is flapping in the breeze on this one. Yeah, and then if you go into the data folder, you have record data and report data. Well, report data is empty because I haven't developed that yet. But record data, oh no, I didn't want to click that. Well, okay, I'm going to close this right away. You don't need to ever go into that folder. The data folder, that's what the code, that's basically where the code will go, and it will open up those files, and it will save the information into those files. But y'all can't see it now. But down here, there's a Excel file called TESTbase sitting right next to the macro. And on the, here, I'll pull it up like this. So there's a sheet called the overview sheet, and you can click refresh, and it reaches out to that Excel file in the data folder, and it unlocks it using the password. It copies all the data out of it, and then it locks it, and then it pastes it in this spreadsheet, and then at the end it tells you, congratulations, the data updated successfully. Where here it is. This is all the data that we that's on every single one of our forms in those PDFs. So if I want to analyze and query the data that's in the test forms, I don't have to open up each Word document and copy and paste into a spreadsheet. I don't have to open up each PDF and type over here again. I only ever type anything once. I only ever type it once. As soon as I've typed it once, that information will flow through all the documentation to the very, very end of the engineering documentation, right? So I only ever want to type it once. And I want to type it in Microsoft Word on a beautiful form. And so anyway, so so all this data right here, and this is not special data. I can come here and I can just butcher it and mess it all up, and it doesn't matter, because I just come back and I hit refresh, and it pulls in a fresh copy. Boom. So I could be working in this, and then interns or junior engineers could be filling out test forms as good as they can, and it's not going to disrupt, right? Unless they accidentally click their buttons at the same time and they try to access the data sheet at the same time, then it'll be open and one of them will be blocked. But that'd probably be very rare that they would click the button at the exact same time. Yeah, so this is, so there it is, Hello World Test T12, right? And there you go. So I want to, just cancel. So I want to make this, this is very labor intensive to create all of these Word documents. So I wonder if there's a way where I can, I don't want to do all this stuff in Excel. That would be horrible. But I do think that there's a large portion of the tests, of the information, could be populated in Excel faster than Word. So I wonder if I could have a test list generator sheet, and then I could basically have a button on it where you fill out over here in these columns information you want, right? However many rows, however many forms you want, right? One row per form. So just put them all in, and then the code would just run, and it would take the template and it'd fill in that information in those fields, and create the Word document. And then if the document already existed, it would have to check first and then be like, hey, I'm not going to make that one. It already exists. And then you go, oh, yeah, I forgot to delete that off of that. And that way you could do you could generate the whole test set at one time, like if you're copying and pasting to a new project. Or you could add, like, say, 3 or 4 tests. Or you could take 3, well, okay. I need to have the option of overwrite, it needs the prompt, hey, this test exists, do you want to overwrite it, yes or no, and then yes or no, and then it would basically overwrite or skip it. Yeah. So that way you could rearrange, because currently to renumber, to swap, so I have R1, 2, 3, and then 4, right? So to move these guys so that they're above, whoops, yeah, sure. To move these guys so that they're like this, with the current way that I have the forms set up, is very labor intensive currently. But there may be a way to make a generator or like a test manager. Yeah, like a test manager. It's a test generator, test manager sheet. Something like that. Yeah. Uh, hmm. Yeah, so that's TESTbase. What we have is kind of cool. It solves the problem of, yeah, I could sit down and I could look at a board and be like, oh, this should be tested like this and this should be tested like that. But if I don't have somewhere to write it down already, I'm not going to create a whole form and test documentation system if I don't have it already. So I need to have a place to put all that. Yeah, so basically all these tests that people need to be doing aren't being done because they don't have a good place to put the test information. So that's what TESTbase does. Is it gives you detailed test information, right? A place to put that. So we've got the test name, test number, part number of what you're testing, unit under test part number, right? So this is the miniPCB number. I decided to not put the revision, the last test number, and this NO is actually for nomenclature, but that's why it's NO instead of NU. But you'll hear me call it test number, but it's really test nomenclature. So that's why you can put a T1 or a T1000, right? Or you could spell out a name. The only problem with doing it like a name is they're going to be alphabetized, alphanumerical, whatever. So you might as well do like T1, T2, T3, or T100, T101. Test type. This should only ever be static, performance, or diagnostic. Static is when the unit under test is just sitting on your workbench, and you take the multimeter and you put it on test probes and you look at the meter, right? Like it's not plugged into anything, it's not turned on, it's just sitting on your desk, right? Static. Performance is when you power it up and you apply a stimuli and you look at a response, or you just power it up. And then diagnostic is when one of the other tests has failed, right? So let's say I have a plus V-bus short circuit test, right? Let's say this test fails. Let's say that I put my probe on TP3 and TP4, right? Signal pin, return pin. This is the instrument that's supposed to be used. I want to do a test accuracy ratio, and then I want to put the instrument's accuracy right next to the instrument, right? So while you're looking at the instrument, you go, oh, let's look at the data sheet and we'll get the test accuracy, right? Which is range specific and also percent of the indicated value on the meter. So yeah. And then down here, and then the acceptance criteria with the low limit, the target value, and the upper limit. And there will only ever be a single parameter that's being measured. There will only ever be a single parameter being measured for a given test, because if there's two, that's two tests. But how would I do a safe operating area test? Well, anyways, I'll have to think about that. But for the current PCBs that we have, I'm pretty sure this is good enough. And then right in between here and here, I could put the test accuracy ratio, because after I know this information, I know how to calculate the test accuracy ratio if I have the instrument's accuracy and then the acceptance criteria accuracy. So I could calculate the ratio of my instrument per my test, right? And that should be, well, when you design something for the United States government, they say, hey, test and measurement equipment has to have a test to accuracy ratio of 4 to 1, right? We've been doing this for decades. And then maybe more than decades, but maybe 100 years at least. But yeah, so there's specification on that ratio. And so I could automate that where it just like fills in. Once you put that in and this in, then boom, it's like, okay, this is your ratio, and then I could even color code it. Okay, so yeah, so I could automate the test accuracy ratio calculation, and I could even encode, like change a color that shows green or not, just keep it white and black. And then the test results, this is where you specify exactly, go to test T2, and then this would be, this example right here would be like a diagnostic test, say at T50. And then when you go to T50, maybe there's a test where you check to see if it's, this is a bad example, but C1 or C3, right? Because it could be either or. So if you're able to test further to determine if it's this part or this part, then those are diagnostic tests. So your unit has already failed, but you could do a couple other measurements to know better which part failed. So those are diagnostic, right? So you have static, performance, and diagnostic. But the one thing that this form, well, not the one thing, but one big thing that this form could do that I'm not doing, this is what the first 30 minutes that I was recording that you guys missed was it doesn't connect to the failure mode effect analysis system, right, or thoughts. So, which is integral to the test plan, right? Like the test plan is created based on at the results, the output of analyzing the failure modes. So, so I want to put that, I want to add that to this form, so that way TESTbase not only becomes a test plan documentation system, but also that's what it is, but it has it's a failure mode effect analysis test plan documentation system, so much more valuable. So yeah. So anyway, so that's what I was doing, and over in my template section, so I have engineering docs and then templates, and then in this templates section, I just created a dev copy of TESTbase, and I moved the design notes down into the dev copy. So this guy up here doesn't have design notes in it, but the design notes will just follow the dev copy. How's that? And yeah, but then there's no version indicator in this guy. Okay, I have to figure out my versioning. Because once it's over here, this is whatever version it was, which is why I really need that generator where or just a converter. Like maybe I could have a macro to update to, yeah, in the Excel file, I could have a button which is update to current version, and then it would basically delete all of the Word documents, take the data folder, the data Excel spreadsheet. I need to I need to write a script that can shuffle the columns based on headers. So yeah, I need to be really careful about how I name all the fields, and then be able to shuffle, so adjust the columns from the old obsolete data set to what the current one looks like, and then move the data, basically take the data, take the form, the new form, and just create all your Word documents and your PDFs, and then create a new Excel spreadsheet and throw away the old one. Yeah, so I could put a update revision, test revision button. And yeah. Okay, so anyway, so I was down in the form. So I was down in software design notes. Need to add this, basically kind of the stuff I was just talking about, and improve the focus and scope, and then add failure mode effect analysis, sys FMEA. Concepts to the form. Okay, data, information to the form. There it is. That's it. That's perfect. Okay, so then back over here. So this is what I was doing. I was editing on this guy. And so we've got reference designator, component type, failure mode, failure effect, and then the solution. I don't know if I want to call it solution, but we're going to stay with solution for the moment. And this failure mode is the mode that the component fails in. This effect is whether the parameter being measured failed low or failed high. So if you have a pull-up resistor, no, let's say you have a voltage divider, right? Let's say you have a voltage divider, and your high side, let's say it's R1, sorry guys, let's say it's R1, and copy, insert, paste. All right, that works. So let's say it's R1 and R2, right? And R1 no, I was confusing it. This yeah. Okay. Distribute. There it goes. That's it. Okay. And then I can just delete this. Right, so I shouldn't. What am I doing? And just delete and then merge. Merge. Distribute. No, okay. Distribute. Oh, really? That's weird. Okay, now will it like it? Yeah. It was just too confusing for it. Okay, so now I just pull this back over here. Like this. Then this, I can actually center these again. And I can split these again now. So split cells. No, I want 2 rows and 1 column. What? Control Z. Split cells. Don't do that. Well, it's got to do that, huh? 1 column. Yeah, seven rows, right? 8 rows. There's that works. Okay, cool. This needs to be parameter. Um, and then this list here needs to be sorry, this is a drop-down list, right? Where you could pick stuff. I just picked a long one, so I could. But this needs to remove. Can I remove multiple? No. Remove. 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 Resistance, voltage, capacitance, inductance, time, frequency, cycles, count, instead of count, should I go 1 click more abstract and say computation? I think value is way too abstract because it's resistance value, capacitance value. Counting is a computation. It's an iterative computation. So should I say computation? Compute? Oh, compute sounds cool. Result? Compute. Compute. Is compute a word? Define compute. Not computer. Compute. Calculate or reckon. Can I treat it like a noun instead of a verb? Can I treat it like a noun instead of a verb? Like resistance, computance? What? 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 Holy crap. Has anybody said that before? Oh my God. We may have made a new word. Well, guys, I think we made up a new word. I like it, computance. But I wanted to buy the domain, but somebody's selling it for like a couple $1,000s, like $3,000 or something like that. It's ridiculous. I'm not going to spend $3,000 for that. I have too many domain names to spend real money for a domain name. No, maybe it just needs to be computation. Yeah, computation. I don't think the engineers get to make up new words, right? So we don't need to. We don't need to. And then this can. This is just parameter. So how do I show? So gain or attenuation would be a computation. Yes. Yes. Um, Actually, I need to add temperature. And then maybe heat. Um, no, we'll leave heat off. It's a change function of temperature, essentially. What's the, yeah. But I'm not putting slew rate. That would be a calculation, a computation. So temperature would be the measurement. Heat would be the computation. Force. I should put force. Stress. Mechanical. Like a vibration test. Maybe parameter performance. No, that's a higher level FMEA thing. So, okay, so out high, out of tolerance high, out of tolerance high, unable to adjust. I think I need to spell it out. And unable to adjust. Because people are going to, this is for the open source community, so they're going to have to learn like what the hell is going on. So the more I spell stuff out, the better, right? Does it snug up with that line? Let's say. It's okay. No, it's okay, we'll put it like that. It'll only ever be one ref des because it's only ever a single component. Yes, because you evaluate every component's failure mode and the effect and the solution. So this might look like, so this needs to be a drop down as well. And then this is simply going to say adjust, replace, repair. I think it's just adjust, redesign, modify, redesign. Yep. Adjust, replace, redesign. Okay. So make it say adjust, replace, or redesign. Of course, intolerance is not a failure mode. So if it's a diagnostic test, that kind of this form would not so I almost need this up here. This needs to be that drop down. I need to get into my code and figure out how to do the drop downs because I don't think it works on the drop downs. So this is static performance diagnostic. Okay, oops, not that. Right, so when they select diagnostic, it needs to include intolerance on the components in this section, but not any of the others. So I don't know the VBA yet for how to reliably manipulate the table. And then manipulating the table is going to affect, I address everything by its title or name, so it doesn't matter where it shows up, but it does matter how many there are. And the diagnostic test has to fit in the same data form, so it's got to be the same form. Yeah, and this adjust would only be selected if R1 was adjustable. Replace if it's, well, Let's see if I got this right. Okay, so I'm going to say R1 resistance. If it fails high, the effect is measurement. Yeah, so this guy is measurement high or measurement low. Right? Solution is to adjust, but then it could be this just needs to be 2 as well. This needs to be cancel, modify, adjust, or replace, and then redesign. So it's basically repair or redesign. Yeah. So with this, you would see that that this would be static, right, for each component. And then I need to have enough components so that they could do maybe it's a whole sheet, right? Maybe all of sheet 1 is just the components, so up to like 5 or 6. There's a couple tests that probably will be more than that, but okay, so R1, the parameter we're measuring is resistance. If it's out high, our measurement is going to be high, and you would just adjust or replace R1. Now, let's say it's a different test, and the first test was measuring the resistance on R1. This test is measuring the voltage coming off of a divider with R1. So the failure mode of no, it's a little different than that. It's a little more nuanced. Okay, so so test 1, right? The bus, the V plus rail short circuit test, where you put the multimeter across plus and minus, and you see if it's short circuited. Okay, so all your components are going to be playing on that. So you're not going to have a very tight range. It's going to be like, is it less than 100 ohms? Yes or no? Like less than 100 ohms? Okay, we may have a problem. More than 100 ohms, like it's 200 ohms or 150 ohms, it's probably something playing with it, but it's probably not short-circuited. So down here, we would list all the components that if it's out high or out low could cause the measurement to be high or the measurement to be low. These get merged. Yeah, my bad. Layout, merge. Yeah, merge. It's just out high or out low. Maybe I need to. No, I don't need the unable to adjust. It's just out high or out low. Because I'm not. This needs to be rework or redesign. Yeah, rework or redesign. Developer properties. Remove, add, rework. Okay. Okay, or rework. Yep, that's it. Failure effect measurement high. Solution. Rework. UUT rework or no, just rework or redesign. Because this is a developmental test. So redesign is a option. Otherwise, it would just be rework or adjust or rework. Okay. Yeah. And then you might even have this. No, that's a different test. Well, yeah, that's a different measurement. Temperature and ohms, two different measurements. Or like if you're measuring a voltage. No, because you could have a like a temperature measurement. Say I've got two resistors in series, and I have a test. Where I measure the temperature on the resistor on one of the resistors, let's say R2, and the resistor has a rating, and the resistor gets too hot. No? I don't need to put the unable to adjust. That's not a failure mode. It's just either out high or out low. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Oops. Need to merge these first. Actually, undo that and then grab these guys and split them 2 ways. What? Okay. Paste. Backspace. Copy. Paste. Paste. How big is computation? How big is that guy? That, enough room. Can make it smaller. So I need to just grab these and distribute them. Okay, I like that. I want to put the bottom half point font in black. I want to put that on each of these guys. So that in the bottom. Oh, I turned that top one off. So top, and then we'll say top. It's top. Bottom. Okay. I think I need to spell this out. Hmm. We got some double spaces in here. Oops, wrong one. Come on. Okay. Measurement high. Redesign. So oh, I spelled that. Acceptance criteria. Parameter target value exceeds. So if R1's resistance is out of tolerance high, the measurement will be high. Uh, uh, no, because this implies that the tolerance range is good. Does it? Hmm. See, to me, when I watch people talking about artificial intelligence and yeah, when I watch people talking about artificial intelligence, this is what I do for fun, right? I waste a bunch of my own personal time just goofing off in Microsoft Word, right? Doing stuff that's fun to me, but I don't plaster it out there in the world to distract other people, you know? That's not what I do. I keep it to myself. I don't burden other people with the challenges of my own hobbies. Hmm. Need a function. We'll leave it, but maybe computation is a little bit weird. I think I need to go back to my original idea and just put in this drop-down menu, properties, add out of tolerance high, out of tolerance low, short circuit, open circuit. Should I have a short circuit to adjacent, like within a clearance region? So each refdes will have two drop downs. And you could say out of tolerance, high or low, or short circuit, open or closed. Short circuit or open circuit. No, this needs to adjust based off of the component type. It needs to go refdes, component type, parameter, failure mode. Insert column. No. Oh, really doesn't like that, does it? Cut this. Split this right here. Split two columns. Not 14, just 7. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. $16? No, it's just 8. It's 8, no, it's 8. Oh, a divisor at 15. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Split cells. Oh my god. I have to make sure I'm not. There you go. No, I won't be blasting you guys out with that noise. it'll just be me suffering. It's 2 columns. Why is that so hard? Okay, refdes type. Yeah, let's grab the whole thing and whack that. What did I do? Limit. It just seems to be lower limit, upper limit. Failure effect is like lower limit, upper limit. Oops. Test limit. Does that work? Yeah, okay. And then developer here, properties, modify. What? Oh, let's try that. Upper, lower. Oops. Okay, upper, lower, upper, lower. It's kind of cool. Probably one more click, a couple more. So refdes. These should be hmm, right. So those are examples like that. Type. Um, this is back at the resistor critical, resistor general, switching or signal, switch or signal, small signal or switch. Yeah. So this is transistor. I think they call it small signal, large signal. Like that. Then it is, whoa, good thing y'all couldn't hear that. That was loud. That's not enough space, is it? Parameter. Transistor, small signal. Transistor, big signal. But then if it's like IC1, right, or U1, then you could have adjacent pins short-circuited. I need to have continuity. So Hmm. I think that's. I think this is getting close. This won't help me if I have a Zener diode signal diode power. Um, yeah, it's power diode protection. No, I think it's just signal or it's a diode. I got transistor, integrated circuit, IC analog, IC digital, IC mixed signal. You know what I need? I need a row above this to say component. Yeah. Then test, test. Yeah. I think I need to take the bottom off this here and then put the middle on here. Nope. Yeah, and then this ref.des can include the pin, right? So 1 to 2. This would be U1, pins 1 and 2. Or U1, 2, and 3. 3 and 4. Right? And then if it's a 8, if it's a like a 8 pin, so 4 on each side, you skip to 5 and 6. Well, yeah, but they're not all going to be on the same test. So, right, you just have one measurement point. Oh my goodness. I should have split my tables. Oh well. You know what I need to do? I need to page break that. Then over here, just back that up. Have a whole sheet just for this. Then a whole sheet for acceptance. And then a document form control. I'll just leave that all alone. But yeah, and I need to, that's a split table because of the page break, right? Yeah, because I got that grabber right there, so that's a new table. And this is a new table. Might show me the page. Show me that grabber. What? It's weird. I wonder why it gives it to me here. It doesn't give it to me here or here. What's so special about this guy? Okay, fine. We'll do this right. Oh, it is not split. Why don't I go to the next one? Anyways, here, insert. Offset. Is it offset? Um, since the 50s. Ooh, test uncertainty ratio. I haven't worked with that before. Huh. So it's a percent plus an offset. Yeah. What? Okay, so instrument, measurement, range. This is not the same, but, so continuity, resistance, voltage, capacitance, inductance, time, frequency count, computation, temperature. Yeah, no, it's the same, isn't it? This needs to be a drop down. I don't have that many tools, so this needs to be based off of my tool list. I have a Fluke 87. I have a Discovery 2. Yep. What else do I have? I have a temperature sensor from China. Thermometer. So this is Perfect Prime is what it says on it. It's a no-name brand type of thermometer. I don't have any good measurement tools. That's it. That's pretty much it. I mean, I've got some cheaper measurement tools. I'll just say other. Right, and then measurement is one of those. And range. should be settings. It should just say settings. And then just basically like a comma separated value of all the settings, like a JSON type thing. That'll work. It's going to be really ugly for some, but for most things, it's just going to be like, for most of them, it's going to be just VDC, milli VDC, ohms, diode, milliamps, or microamps AC. Well, microamps, VAC. Yeah, so there's only like a couple settings on the handheld multimeter, but on the analog discovery, there could be a bunch of settings on the scope or the FFT. It could get kind of complicated. Yeah. R1, C1, Q1, short circuit. So if it was to pin 2, then you might have both of those, and then you might go off to something else. So yeah, so let's say it's the test centered around pin 2. So the most you'll ever have is 2 like adjacent pin tests. Okay. Yeah. Save. Let's see. So starting at the top. So test name, test number, last test. Okay. Part number, test type, static performance diagnostic. Transistor, small signal, large signal, diode small, signal or power, IC analog, digital, mixed signal, resistor, critical general, critical general, critical general. What other components? I don't think I have any other components on my potentiometer. It's just a resistor. So we're not going to put yeah, it's just too low. And then unable to adjust is when it is still out of tolerance. It's not a failure mode. It's just a acceptance thing, like a flow state that goes at the bottom. Capacitors, inductors, diodes, photodiodes, optocouplers. Photodiode, optocoupler, thermistor, should just say transducer. Need to take off thermistor and just make it transducer. Photodiode, optocoupler. Should be photosensor. should I say actuator? Yeah, be an actuator. So, and then a photodiode is really a transducer. The optocoupler is a coupler. Transformer should put a transformer on here. Okay. Should I move these up? It's probably not likely I'm going to do a transformer anytime. Well, I say that, and then 2 months from now I'm going to be doing a transformer. We'll put it up by put it below the ICs. Yeah, above the photo. Mm-hmm. Type, continuity, resistance, inductance, out of tolerance. This needs to be B to E, right? Oh man. Base emitter. Okay. And then you do so let's say here we copy. If I go here, will it? Yes. Cool. So this could be collector emitter. Because let's say I'm on the emitter. Let's say it's the emitter goes to pin 2, right? So the emitter could be shorted to the short circuit, open circuit. This would not be a failure mode. I need to put NA. I need to put NA on all those. Add, not applicable. And then move it up to the top. Say OK. Grab all these. Say delete. Grab all these. Paste. NA. I should have put NA on it and then slid it down. Oops. Something like that. Out of tolerance high, out of tolerance low, short circuit, open circuit. That's the component failure mode. Out of tolerance, short circuit, open circuit. I should say increased resistance. Yeah, I should. I'm putting everything else in it, so I might as well. That's out of tolerance. So it'd look like, say, diode 1. We're measuring, this would be a, let's say this is a signal diode. The signal is a voltage. Let's say it's a Zener, right? So Zener would be signal, like a precision Zener or something like that. Diode, voltage, signal, and then out of tolerance high would mean it's too high, and out of tolerance low would mean it's too low. But when we're talking about voltage, you could say the resistance. Yeah, yeah, yep. Or the capacitance. Yeah, 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 right. And it would cause this test to fail its out of tolerance high. Let's say it would cause it to fail its lower limit, and not, it would cause it to fail upper limit. Should be like failed limit. No, just say failure mode test limit. Solution, rework or redesign. You know what we're going to do? Hmm. Let's see. So components under test. So test name, components under test, test description. This really ties it into the input effect analysis. But ooh, I didn't. Why did it do it earlier, but now it's not doing it? Copy. Oh, I need to have NA on these. It needs to be the default. Okay. So a transistor could have 2, and an IC could have 2. So you're up to 4 if you have a transistor pin connecting to an IC pin directly. Well, no, it doesn't have to be directly. It could be through another component if it affects the so 4 just for those 2 things. Then a resistor, right? Say like you got 3 resistors. Say you have a transistor with a resistor to your like yeah, so you could have a resistor here, cap here, transistor there, this guy there. So your 2 resistors, your cap, your 2 for your transistor, 2 for your op amp. So that's at 7. So 7 is a easy to see number. This is 8. I'm going to split this table. Cancel. Split table. Backspace. Yeah. Okay. Don't put that there. That anywhere else in the document. And if I start adding that stuff, there'll be no end to it. Maybe I should put more, like say 10. I may have seen 12 most. ever. What? Did it just replace? I don't think that did anything good. I did put them in there. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We'll stick with 14. That's probably enough. All right. Okay. This guy should be good, right? I didn't edit one of these other guys and not move it over. Continuity. I need to make it say NA. Hey. Need to make an NA on this one. Actually, I could just make it say so choose an item. Okay. I can grab this and make it bigger. Yeah. Should work. We'll leave that font larger at normal. Don't want to take off the italic. Just say form small. I need to choose an item off. And I need to put NA as the default. What? Okay. This needs to say NA. So that way, if there's not a I did that wrong. So if I clear this out, okay. Should probably make this half an inch as well. Save. Saving. I need to have an image here. Really, I should probably break this off into a separate page. split table. We're going crazy, guys. We're going crazy. So the test will have the first section, which describes the components under test, right? So this test number whatever, is going to detect some of these, right? Like if it fails out of tolerance, if the test fails, you can look at all of these, you can look at all of the lower and upper limits, and when you group all the lowers and you put all of those components that have a lower limit, they will go down in the adjust or replace. They'll be referenced down there, mostly the replace actually. But then the solution is redesign. So there we go. Rework. Should I not put the slash? No, I think I need to say this probably needs to be troubleshoot, and this needs to be solution. Troubleshoot, solution, solution. No, because adjust is just so obvious. And then replace. I'll just say or redesign. Because it's a developmental test. Yeah. Here, rework. Actually, I separated that up here, so I should have two columns. I should have a rework and then a redesign. Oops. Can I put it on the inside? Yuck. Cut. Split. Paste. This needs to be defaulted to say not applicable. Wow, that's loud. Not applicable. Copy. Have titles on all these, so need to be a little bit more careful. Property IT replace, and I'm going to leave it say replace, but it should be like properties. What? Rework, redesign. What? Copy, paste, properties, redesign. Oh no, it's crazy. Okay, I'll try this now. Yeesh. Huh, redesign, and redesign. Adjust, rework. I'm going to change them all to rework. And then I'm going to go get something to eat. Okay. Do I need to do that? Yeah, I think so. Okay. So this way, you only have to type if something is applicable. Well, where'd that go? You only have to type if something's applicable, because it defaults to not applicable. That one is good. Lower limit, upper limit. Those always need to be. This guy needs to be properties, units, cut, close. Grab this guy, backspace. Come back to here, properties, here, put that in. Come back here and say units. Save. That needs to be down here. Maybe I should just type it. I should just force myself to type it. You don't want to be nice to yourself, Nolan? Oh, actually, parameter. Okay, parameter. And let's see, so I got this space there. Do I need that space there? No, I don't need that space there. Okay. So result intolerance. I need to put that line back in. Okay. I think these need to be, no, we'll leave them like that. It's kind of a lot of lines. I don't need this underline here. Just straight into that. the table here is row, specify height at least. So that's where you type out the story. That's where you insert one image, like a block diagram. Should I put two? I have this down here, but this is more for like the measurement points, where to probe. But this is like the overall setup, or like a oscilloscope screenshot. Should I put 2? 4? I should put 4, and I should put captions. Yeah, so here we go. Delete this. Backspace. Backspace. Okay, cool. Now split this. Split cells. 2 columns. 4. Like this. Then here, we'll insert the picture. Image. 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 Caption. 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 And over this, we'll put border, outside border, outside border, outside border, outside border, and the row needs to be at least 2 inches, and the row needs to be at least maybe 2.25. Something like that. And then this guy should be, yeah, we'll leave it small. This guy, we'll make this at least 1 inch. I need to disable that. That bar thing is always in my way. Okay. It's probably good. Yep. This needs to be fleshed out. It needs to basically be where you select the instrument, boom, and then the measurement, and then the settings populate to whatever the instrument on that measurement range have. That needs to come from the tool catalog, which would come from TESTbase. Yeah, so TESTbase feeds in right there. And TESTbase would track all your calibrations and stuff. Yeah. 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 Yep. Yep. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab all these guys here. is, how do I change the color to be, no, I'm just going to leave it harsh. It'll just be harsh like that, like, ah. So I'm going to change these to say not applicable. Nope. TP. I'm going to make this say not applicable. I need to put content controls in here. Okay. This is where you do the high-level procedural type stuff. I'm not going to say purpose and, well, should I say purpose and scope? I'm going to add a little bit of color to the section. Yeah, and then down here, I should be able to put that there. Yep. And put this up there too. This will be purpose, scope. Oops, not that one. One inch. Let me break. Nope, cool, good. So we got purpose and scope. Purpose, scope. The instrument. Settings just needs to be expanded. Okay. Should I make those, well, maybe I'll come back and I'll change the colors of lines that aren't intended to be like fill in here line to like a gray or a blue. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Save. All right. I'm going to pause the video or stop the video and go ahead and post it. Well, I think it's coming together, guys. TESTbase. I really wanted a, basically, in engineering, you should be able to drag out your components, make a schematic, right? And the layout should, everything else should be automated. If you've set up all your stuff, the layout should be automated. The test plan generation should be automated. The test fixture and adapters should be automated. Like you should be able to automatically create the test fixture and adapters. you should be able to automatically write the software that's going to test it, like run your automated test. You should be able to automate it, automate the software that's going to integrate your new test plan with your test system that's going to collect data and do data analysis for the life of the circuit that you just designed. Yeah, and so that's like a big goal. Like that's a huge workspace. But this is just me at home with Microsoft Word and Excel and VBA code. So we're just having fun, but there's a lot here. There's a lot here. Huh. All right. Let's while I've got y'all on the line, I'm gonna make the next icon, right? So I go into graphics and I go to miniPCB SVG. Oops. Show an Explorer. miniPCB SVG. Okay. It's been a while, huh? What do we want to call this video? Revising TESTbase, redesigning. Just development. Backspace, TESTbase, 2.0, 1.1. Well, we'll say 2.0. Because it's going to be significantly different. This is the first video of the day. The 30th. Development, TESTbase 2.0. Control-Shift-E, selection, export as, make sure it's going to the right spot. Yep. This is the 30th. This is the first video of the day. Say save, click export. Okay. Say save. The other thing, GitHub. Let me close out of TESTbase software design notes. Eagle. I'm going to close out of Eagle. So close. So I can close this, close this, close this. Okay, so the only thing we have up, and we'll just close everything. So okay, so the only thing I have up is you guys and my desktop. I took that picture, if I ever told you all that. And this is good enough. And push. Boom. And you guys have access to the files before you even knew they existed. So there you go. Open source hardware. Hope it helps. All right, I'm going to stop the video and upload it. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.